Words in any language echo from the past quite vividly. The English language is full of borrowings due to the eventful history of the country. In prehistoric times, Britain was inhabited by Celtic tribes, whose language and genes survive particularly in peoples and languages of Ireland, Gaelic language, Wales, Welsh, and Cornwall, Anglo-Cornish dialect. In the middle of the 1st century, the Roman troops invaded the southern part of England and within the next century managed to occupy the major part of the British Isles. England was colonized by Rome and divided into several provinces from 43 to 410 current era, when decline of empire led to withdrawal of Roman troops. Some Latin influence on language and names resulted. Words of Latin origin in English are figure, sack, pirate, fame, street, wall, and many others. When Rome withdrew from England, the native Celts were threatened by Germanic tribes, the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes, who stayed to take advantage of the situation, becoming settlers and rulers, making Anglo-Saxon languages the base of modern English. Most of French words started to appear in the language after 1066, when England was invaded by French-speaking Normans from the region of Normandy in modern France. French-speaking kings and nobles began ruling England, but common people continued to speak English, with both groups eventually sharing each other's language to some degree. At length, the French-descended rulers became more English than French. There is a vivid example of word origin which is traced back to those times. Most meat names come from Norman French. You can see the similarities in modern French animal names. Mutton, mouton, sheep, beef, bœuf, cow, pork, porc, pig. The theory is that the Anglo-Saxon who raised the animals in the fields used the English names, but the people who cooked and served the meat used the Norman French names, since that was the language spoken by the nobles, who were eating the meat. A computerized survey of about 80,000 words estimated the origin of English words as follows. The reason why Latin, French, and German influenced English are clear so far. However, how did Greek words appear in the language? The Oxford Companion to the English language states that the influence of classical Greek on English has been largely indirect. What does it mean? After a series of conflicts, Greece was eventually captured by Romans. Greece had always been highly developed in many spheres of life. Logically, Romans copied lots of things from Greeks and circulated this knowledge within the empire and beyond. Physics, alchemy, paradise, encyclopedia, cathedra are derived from Greek. There are very few English words that start with X. It usually shows the Greek origin of the word. When X does start a word, it is usually pronounced with Z. Xylophone, xenophobia, Xerox. Some of these words were first borrowed into Latin and then appeared in many languages. Let us trace back the origin of the word pedagogue, which exists in every European language. School curriculum in ancient Greece was divided into 3 categories: writing, music, and gymnastics. At the age of 6, the child was enrolled in a school run by a professional schoolmaster. The day typically started with classes on writing, reading, and arithmetic. This was followed by a music class in which he'll learn how to play the lyre and set famous poems to music. Thereafter, he would visit the gymnasium and participate in wrestling and other athletic contests with other boys of his age. From the time he left his house till he returned home in the evening, a child was under the supervision of a slave who acted as his nurse, his guardian, and his tutor. The slave was called pedagogus, made up of 2 Greek words, pe or ped, which means boy or child, and agogos, which means leader. It aptly described the role of a person who led the child from his home to school and back. Subsequently, in the English language, pedagogue took on the meaning of a teacher, especially one who is too opinionated or is a stickler for formal rules, and pedagog in the Russian language with a neutral meaning. Some other words related to pe are pediatrics, the branch of medicine that deals with children and their diseases, encyclopedia, which means circular. It has holistic education. Now we know the origin of several words, including pedagogue, which was derived from the ancient Greek language. Modern English vocabulary has undergone a long formation process due to the history of Britain. Foreign languages contributed greatly to the way modern English language looks and sounds. Borrowing process is inevitable and to some extent enriches the language.